One piece particularly for me has stood out relative to competition, where my own children went to school, and I heard the high school principal say, learning in our school is very competitive. And my heart sunk because I thought, well, by the nature of competition, there are some that are the winners and there are some that are the losers. And how could I look at any child in a school or talk to their parents and say, you're going to lose? So that's where it really became very personal for me. I'm not against competition where it belongs. It's healthy, it can be good, but in a lot of places it's just not healthy. And fortunately or unfortunately, it is baked into our culture, right? It is very much baked into the Western culture. There are winners and there are losers. I'm an advocate of private education. I'll say that. I'm not an advocate of public funding for private education, and here's why. Because it sets up competition, right? If I'm any school, whether I'm a public or a private, I am now a competitor with people. And one thing that happens is a reallocation of funds. So let's just say my school, for whether it's public or private, is getting more students, which means more funding for me and my school, which by default means less funding for other schools. And so that if I think about the entire system, I think, hey, great for my school. But if I'm thinking about the entire system and all the children, that does sub-optimize some students in some schools. So it's a competition for resources. When we have competitive nature, practices won't be shared, collaboration gets diminished, there's no encouragement for collaboration. So who suffers in the end? Well, students suffer in the end. School districts that serve maybe a more impoverished population don't have as many resources. Instead of supporting those schools with the resources, students may leave, which leaves even less resources for the students left in that school. So again, overall, who suffers? Well, there are some winners and there are some losers. And I don't know how anybody could look at a kid and say, okay, I'm fine with you with you losing. When we become market driven, people start to behave a little bit differently. My dissertation was based on a book we had read called Good Work. And the way they defined good work was that it was high quality and that it was ethical. So they took those ideas, they created a bunch of questions, and they studied the fields of journalism and genetics. What they found overall was this: when a business sector or education sector became more market driven, both the quality of what happened suffered and the ethics of what was going on suffered. My concern is that as we become more market driven, that those same types of things will start to happen. That could mean schools and districts cheating on tests or fudging the scores on tests, doing whatever they need to do to be competitive. I'm not against competition, but not in places where it doesn't belong. So in a market driven environment, again, there's going to be losers. And is that what we really want our educational environment to be about?